Eric Carlson, here we are at Revolusun on the 17th floor penthouse of 1600 Kapi'olani, the Pan Am building. Okay, give us a walk around. We've heard a lot about this place. Now we want to know more.
Well, aloha, ThinkTech, Hawaii. We are at the 17th floor of the Pan Am building. This is our newly renovated office suite. A lot of time, thought, and energy went into the remodel here, and we were hoping to create the most sustainable office space that we could. Being friendly to the environment is very important to us, and we practiced a lot of construction methods that ensured we weren't doing unnecessary harm or adding to our limited landfills. So this is the front entrance. As you can see, we get a lot of comments on our reception desk here. This is a piece that was put together 100% from reclaimed materials. We've got a lot of reclaimed trim from different projects around the state, as well as this beautiful slab of kiawe that has been milled into our reception desk counter. Again, what we were trying to do is use sustainable building practices to ensure that we weren't sending unnecessary waste to our landfills by reusing materials from other projects.
Is that reuse at Hawaii?
Yeah. So the majority of this, all the products here, all the colorful products here were bought and purchased from Reuse Hawaii. The slab here was provided to us by our contractor, Mokalua Woodworking. This is something that they had salvaged from a previous job site, and they were holding on to it specifically for us. They milled it down and created this beautiful work surface. Yeah,
good. By the way, speaking of materials and help from others, what about that house, 747 22nd Avenue, Kaimuki? You guys did a lot of work there, didn't you?
That was a great project. We were happy to be asked to be a part of it. You're referring to the BIA New Hawaiian Home.
Yes.
It's the latest and greatest in sustainable building practices. And it was a collaborative effort with over 70 of the state's leading experts in their own respective fields. And we were very happy to provide our solar expertise for that home, and we designed a 22-panel photovoltaic system that is going to completely offset the home's entire energy load.
Oh, that's great. I've seen it. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
The solar is beautiful there. It's an important part of the house.
You know, that part of, I can vouch. I used to live right down the street. It's one of the hottest, sunniest places on the island, and we are getting even more production than we had planned for with that home. So we're really happy about the way the house turned out and our system.
You're local.
What's that?
You're local.
We're local. Yeah,
we're local.
I'm local. We're locally.
Son of Doug Carlson?
I am. My father is the infamous Doug Carlson.
Mr. Energy, man.
But yeah, Revolusun is a locally owned and operated company, and we're very proud of the work we do here.
Okay, show me some more.
Sure. You want to take a look at our conference room?
Yeah.
It's probably what you'd expect to see at a solar company, a conference table made out of solar modules.
Of course.
These, again, the same methodology went into this. These doors, 2 of them were purchased at Reuse Hawaii for unbelievably great cost, and then we fabricated the other 2 to match. So, again, from reclaimed material. So, looks really good, fits our space well. Really excited about it. We wanted to create a workspace that offered a lot of open communication, so you can see that there are hardly any open full-height walls. We wanted to keep the space very open. It's a collaborative working group. We like to keep the ideas flowing. So we kept everything really low. It allowed for more daylight to come in. You can see we got floor-to-ceiling windows that allow for light to go all the way through the office space. Pretty much anytime you come in here, you'll never see our lights on. Only after when the sun goes down, we're probably still a full house. Everyone's dedicated and working throughout the night. So, but we're really enjoying the space.
Yeah, it's great. People can talk to each other. I like that.
Yeah. Another cool feature you can see here when you walk around is that all of the work surfaces, if we go take a look at one of these desks here, but all of the work surfaces were constructed out of old solid core doors. And these 2 were materials that would have eventually ended up in a landfill. We bought them, purchased them from Reuse Hawaii, and we gave them a second life. So they were doors, now they're these beautiful workstations.
They are beautiful, and they're solid too, aren't they?
They're solid, durable. Yeah, absolutely. And we used about 55 on this project. So we're really proud of
They're
that.
comfortable. They look like the kind of surface you want to work on.
Yeah, they're great for rolling out blueprints. These are where our designers sit and they take a look at blueprints and design systems for commercial, residential applications.
Great.
In the background, you'll see all of our interior offices here. This whole wall is all office spaces. Again, we're reclaiming material. All of the windows here were pulled from residential homes and purchased at Reuse Hawaii.
It looks great. So you're driven by what you found in the in Reuse in Hawaii.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
then
you actually design around materials you get.
yeah, absolutely. So as you walk toward the back, this is where our project developers hang out, and at any time you'll see anywhere. We have a staff of about 40 now at Revolusun, and these are the people that are going out every day into people's homes and explaining all the benefits of solar energy. And at any time we'll have anywhere from 10 to all 40 of them. We do continual training here to make sure that our guys are at the top of their game. We have experts from all throughout the renewable energy industry that come here and present to us and teach us more about their products and what's coming out and what we should be aware of. And it's also a chance for us to talk about the different regulatory issues here in Hawaii regarding solar and incentives. It's just a way to make sure that our guys are the most trained.
That's tremendous.
Yeah. It's also an open workspace area. The tables here that you can see in the background can be moved around, and so we can accommodate as many people as we need to. Just a great working space. We've purposely saved the best room in the house for our salespeople. This has got the best view overlooking Diamond Head and Waikiki and the Hawaii. And we wanted to make sure that they had a really good space to work.
Okay, let's go look. I got to take a picture of the view.
Is that who they are? That's awesome. Eric, do you want us to shut up for a second?
No.
Yeah?
Pretend we're not here.
All right, I'll do that. All right.
Yeah.
So, so one of the things you do.
Solar energy.
Lowercase.
Yeah, all the way. Yeah.
So which one do you like the best?
So is that training we see over there?
Yes, this is our Friday training. It's called Solar Masters, and you can see Greg Murphy, our director of sales, working with a number of our project developers. We do this every week, again, talking about the latest and greatest of solar, and it's a great opportunity.
That's great. What's a project developer?
Project developer is our staff that are out there, our revolutionaries, we call them. They're the people that are out there on the roofs, meeting with people in their homes, explaining all the benefits of solar energy, talking about the finances and what an incredible place Hawaii is to take advantage of solar electricity because of a number of reasons, but one of them, of course, being our extremely high cost of power. And nowhere else does it pencil out better than Hawaii. And so as the industry continues to mature, we've got more and more really talented people wanting to come into solar and make a great living out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me take a look at this side now.
Yeah.
And they will just feel so comfortable.
You got a working shop here, no question about it.
It's funny because if you were here a week ago, you know that we just moved, we added more space, we've outgrown our space. If you were here a week ago, you'd barely be able to walk through this space. There were so many people. We have expanded down to the 8th floor. We added another 2,900 square feet.
Wow.
And so it's a little more open now. But a week ago, it was just hustle bustle.
Come, let's go to the conference room
All
and
right.
we can talk about policy.
Sure.
A lot of the other methodologies have their issues and controversies, but PV, everybody likes PV. You're in a great spot.
Yeah, we agree with that, and we also know that no one source is perfect, and we need a diverse portfolio to get Hawaii to where it needs to be. Wind and geothermal and even things like OTech, and they all look really promising. But for a lot of people, business owners and homeowners, solar is something that they can grasp. It's very easy to implement, and there's a poll done. If you ask which renewable energy do people like best, they like solar more than they like all of the others combined. And so we feel that we're in the right place. We're really happy to be serving Hawaii with the quality of work we do, and we're just really, really happy with the way things are going right now.
So in the case of solar, I mean, what's the envelope to push right now? I would imagine that the panels that you can get now are better than the ones last year, are better than the ones the year before, and next year will be better than the ones this year, and so forth. Am I right about that? I mean, how dramatic is the improvement?
Yeah, you are right. They do get better, but not how most people think. There's always this misconception that I should wait next year because the panel that was this big is now going to be this big. And that's just not the way that our technology works. What you have is thousands of really talented engineers working day and night, and at the end of the year, what they have to show for it is a really small increment of efficiency gain, and which is great. We'll continue to move forward, but what we always tell people is that if you're waiting for the technology to do this big leap, it's just not going to happen, or it won't happen at the rate that our utility increases every year.
Yeah.
So I've had personally worked with hundreds of homeowners myself, and every time I run into them at the grocery store, the beach, or the kids' soccer game, they always come up to me and say, "Eric, we were so glad we did this. Our only regret was that we didn't do it earlier." And it does advance, the technology does advance, but just not the way that most people think.
Yeah. What about manufacturing? There was an article or a letter to the editor within the last couple of days to the Star Advertiser to the effect that why don't we manufacture more here at home? But manufacturing solar panels is not so easy as it seems. I mean,
Right.
fabricating them is workable, but manufacturing them, you got to have all kinds of heavy equipment and chemical processes and so forth. You think there's a future for manufacturing cells in solar cells in Hawaii?
I think Hawaii has got a lot to offer renewable energy, whether it's PV or wind. We're seeing great things from thermal technology from local companies here. And I think that Hawaii has the brain power to contribute significantly. With the growth of solar right now and the amount of manufacturing that's going into it, these are huge facilities. Most of them are done in China and Taiwan, and they're gigawatts of capacity. So do I see Hawaii or Oahu building that type of facility and in that scale? Probably not, but I'm sure Hawaii is going to leave its mark on solar.
Well, my recollection is that, there are 32 megawatts right now statewide.
Mm-hmm.
That's a small fraction of, for example, big wind. That'd be less than 10% of big wind altogether. But people are very confident of the PV. They believe that PV is going to be much bigger. How do you see that? I mean, is it possible that PV could, make a substantial dent in the 1,200 megawatt base load?
I think anything is possible. I think, like we said earlier, and you very well know, that it's a diverse portfolio, and I really hope that, I think that solar is one that can be implemented the fastest. I think there's more benefit for more people. When I say that, I say, what I mean is that there are hundreds of solar companies that are local, they're ready to go. Give them panels and then install them on those roofs. And some of the other larger portfolio projects that we're looking at have got a lot of controversy, a lot of public opposition that we'll get through, I'm sure, but it's going to take time. I think solar is one that's deployable now.
Yeah.
And the other benefit of that is that homeowners and building owners, they would love to. We've talked with them. We talk with them every day, and sure, they'll give up their roof for a piece of the pie. And so I think that I think solar will have some legs in this. Yeah.
What about batteries? Solar is only when the sun shines.
Yeah.
And sometimes people actually forget that. I swear to God, they actually forget that. They think it's so good, that it keeps on going anyway. By some sort of, like the present
The
under your pillow.
moon, yeah, it works 24/7.
But what about storage? I mean, are you installing storage? How powerful is the storage that you're installing? Where do you see storage going, in the larger picture for PV?
Right. Well, we're excited on the possibilities. Solar, the battery capacity of that is the biggest nut that is yet to be cracked. And we're really confident with the influx of this big push globally of electric vehicles and all the R&D research that's going in to make this the next generation of personal automobiles, of all that R&D technology going in the batteries. That eventually, whether it's 3 years or 10 years from now, we know it's going to happen, but someone is going to come up with a device that stores all of that electricity, and it'll probably be in the box the size of a mini fridge, and you'll have one in your garage, and hopefully you'll come to a point where you're going to be producing power at its source on your roof, distributed generation, and it'll be stored on site. And so we think it's going to happen. We hope it happens sooner than later. That is the last piece that we really need for homeowners and business owners to really take ownership of their energy. And once battery technology catches up, it's going to be incredible.
Well, what I hear you saying, and other people too, is that the ideal solution, given the power of PV, if you will, and the power potentially of storage, is to have every house, every residence standing on its own. Now, sure, there might be that $18 that $18 connection everybody talks about, with the grid. But if you can get along without it, you're better off. Is that the view? Is that the modern view? We'll do it here. We'll do it on our house. We'll serve our own house. If we can generate extra, fine. But we want to serve our own needs, and we want to have our own personalized storage system along with it.
I think that's how I would want my power. I would love to have ownership of my power, not be relying on an outside party. If all those pieces existed, I would definitely sign me up, cut the cord, and I would be self-sustaining. And I think that is the way that it's going to go.
Yeah, interesting. But now, what about bigger buildings? Like, for example, this building, the Pan Am building.
Right.
Is the footprint big enough here, for example, to create a PV installation on the roof? Assume storage. Assume that. I mean,
sure.
I know it's hard to assume it, but assume that. And we have, the footprint of the top of the roof, and let's assume it's flat, and there are not too many obstacles up there. Mathematically, could you service this whole building, commercial building like this, with PV? Unfortunately,
you can't completely eliminate the load of every building. You made some good points. By the time you consider solar for a system like this, and by the time you get up to the roof, there's a whole bunch of other stuff up there. And so high rises are usually limited with what they can do. And that's why Revolusun started our energy intelligence program division to see other ways that we can help them reduce their load, reduce their energy costs, because there are a number of times we get to a facility and we just can't offset it all with solar.
Yeah, so that's kind of a barrier to commercial, to office buildings, to industrial and all that. Is it possible that solar could work on a vertical surface and get more surface that way? They
do that type of technology in different parts of the world. With us being so close to the equator, the best, in the way our sun tracks, the best place for solar is on the roof. You go in Norway and other the Scandinavian countries, they have full curtain walls that are solar modules, and so because the sun tracks lower. But in Hawaii, the best place for a solar module is to be pointing up.
So it's fair to say then that these larger non-residential buildings are going to have to wait on some kind of advance, one way or the other, in technology before they become self-sufficient. That's a very exciting prospect. Gee whiz. I mean, the contention is distributed energy or not distributed energy, grid or personalized, and jury's out. It's not yet determined. As you say a little while ago, though, it takes all kinds.
It does take all kinds. We're absolutely aware of that, and we say that. And what we always try and do is offer the best solution for our client. And if solar is not it, then we'll let them know. It's not PV. Maybe it's a thermal solution that's best for you. Or maybe it is a rooftop wind system. That's what we're in the business of, is taking care of our clients and offering them the best possible solution for their energy needs.
I really like your corporate culture. Tell me about it. Tell me about your size and shape.
Sure. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and we are so lucky to have an incredibly dedicated group of people, some of the best in the industry. We've been really lucky. We've been hiring both locally and a few guys from the mainland that are just total experts in what they do, and we're chugging along really well. We've got, I think our team has grown with project developers and employees to about 70 right now. And and then we have our subcontractor, our partner, American Pipe and Boiler, that actually does the install for us, and they have a large crew, and they're continuing to grow to that. So we see ourselves being at over 100 people affiliated with Revolusun in the early part of next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how old are you?
We're 2 years today. Believe it or not, July 15th, 2009 is when we officially launched Revolusun, our residential line.
Wow. You guys must be feeling your Cheerios every morning.
It's, you know, like I say, we work with a great bunch of people. The renewable energy industry in Hawaii, it's a great industry with tons of great people. Feel really lucky to be working and meeting folks like yourself and just the community and being able to help out. We're really blessed.
Are you all islands?
We are on Maui, the Big Island, and we do some work on Kauai, and we have done a few projects with Habitat for Humanity on Molokai, battery systems. In fact, we have a team going tomorrow to Molokai to finish up a really large battery system for Molokai Habitat for Humanity. So.
Okay, all right. Growing strong. I hope I can come back and check you from time to time and see how you're doing.
We'd love to have you. This is the construction operations side of Revolusun. We just moved into this space this week. It's about 2,900 square feet, and we plan to completely fill out the space by the end of the year. So.
This is great.
Yeah.
And soon enough, the rest of the building?
That's the plan. As long as the demand is there, we're there to fill it.